All right, so first of all, if you hear me blow my nose, that is not the damn Rona, and I don't hear that shit in the comments. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by at our show, the official Native King and Queen show, with your host, Consumer Arena, and our guest reoccurring star, Prez Tattoos. Yes, I'm actually going to put in a clap there so you don't have to
I watch your show. I mean, I follow you. I'm like one of your biggest fans.
Oh my gosh. And I love your work on Instagram. That's Prez Tattoos. What's the exact address for the? Is it like underscore?
Just Prez underscore tattoos. Yeah, on Instagram.
Right, right. Yeah, that underscore is important because we're not all that smart anymore. Thanks a lot, technology. So we were just talking
it's so
about
funny.
nigger rigging, and Prez is from South Africa. I'm from America, and he didn't know what nigger rigging was. So to all those American black folks out there, you nigger rigged your car, you nigger rig curling irons, we nigger rig a lot of things. Um,
Yeah.
my first car actually was a Pontiac Grand Am, and I did have to nigger rig that every time I started it. So,
so funny.
thank y'all to make you laugh. So today,
But right.
and every day, every time we do our show, we're doing something. This is all new to us. We've both never podcasted before, and so we're trying something. We want to call it trending treaties and tricks are for kids. And I found out, and black folks, yes, they've played a lot of tricks on us. Tricks are for kids and black folks. And today. So, did you find like anything that you thought was like trending? I found like I put something in Reddit and I came up with something, but did you? Is there anything that you found like you thought was like trending that you wanted to talk about?
Well, mainly, I'm still on the like young Dolph murder
Mm.
because that's really big, and it seems like it's about to expose a lot of hidden dark secrets in the entertainment industry.
Wow, wow, yeah. Well, okay. Well, there you go. You found something, and that is trending. And that is trending. Yeah.
Yeah, what did you find?
Um. So I mean, it's Zendaya.
Zendaya, I mean, come
Zendaya
on.
and the Spider-Man movie. Uh, yeah. So that is interesting as yours, but you know what? That's not necessarily true because everything ties together. And as a matter of fact, it's all wicked. And so I was wondering. My whole thing with that was why the hell are they keep on rebooting these movies? Like, what is going on? I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
like I saw they made another like animation. Are you talking about the animation one?
Yeah, no, this
Not that
is
one.
yeah, this isn't like this is a person like a whole another Spider-Man movie, and Zendaya is like a I think she's mixed. She's definitely like I guess they call it racially ambiguous or whatever. Like she's not white.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just like and now Jamie Foxx is in it. She's in it. And it's just like it's not just them rebooting the movies. I'm also seeing that they have to keep on including all the colored folks. And
Yeah.
from the very, I had this first initial thought about this made me uncomfortable because it's like, oh, okay, I see. You guys want to include us now because the shit's all going to hell in a handbasket. So now I just feel like, like now it's just the perfect time to give the black people their flowers on the way to the funeral, to the grave. Like, it doesn't make, there's a lot of bullshit going on here. And we know that, like,
Right.
a time is coming. So for me, it's just a lot of bullshit too late and not the right way. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
I don't want to see
Right.
us in movies and shit. I want to see us owning land and shit. Like I want my land. I want my land.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? You
Um.
know what I mean?
Yeah. It's BS. And then also we're just like you said. We're finding out all of this evil behind the industry and all this bullshit. And then they put all these black people on top. You know what I'm saying? Oh, see, it's their fault. And then
Right.
it's just the same thing now with the Hollywood, and now they're finding all these sex scandals and this and this and that. But they're now replacing. It's like, oh no, guys, come on, black people, where are you? Where are you? Come on, come on. It's like now anybody can be on screen now. Like
Yeah.
they're literally
Right.
finding YouTubers. Like there's a YouTuber that I saw in a Netflix movie, and
What?
I don't get that. And by the way, that
You
pissed
know?
me off. You guys really fucked up Fear Street. Okay, R. L. Stein wrote a series of book Fear Street, and Netflix fucked it up. And I am like, I'm done with you guys. Anyways,
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when like you run out of content. And right now in the
there
whole
you go.
world, like we said, like content is the most, especially with like the lockdown restrictions, and because people have been like mostly indoors and had to find new ways of like keeping themselves busy. So now, like you said, like people of color, we started standing together, you know, and marching. Like for example, the George Floyd thing that happened last year as well. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, this is all money in their pockets. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yeah.
It seems like because amongst us it's just a conversation, but like when you look at the people that own these industry giants, they go off the ratings, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
so for us it's just emotional, and you know, like it's trending. But then at the end of the day, we fighting, like you said, like we're fighting industry giants, like people, corporations, and we trying to own land. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, when you ask the average person what's the definition of success, the average person of color, what's the definition of success? Mostly they start off with, you know, big house,
Mm-hmm.
car, you know,
Yeah.
not I just freedom, not free, you know,
Right.
like
Freedom.
I just want a vast amount of space, like a farm, you know,
Yes.
something that
Yes.
presents freedom,
Yes.
not not like social status.
Yes. Everything is, and that's another theme that's on Netflix. 'Cause it's like they want to see us being watched and being in a cage in a box, like, and that's
Right,
and so it goes back to like what you're saying. And I a long time ago I didn't understand why someone would want to be homeless. I didn't, and I would say like, well, why don't they just provide the houses for the homeless? Why don't they just like put them in the these abandoned houses,
homeless shelters.
make them fix it up and make them live there. And then
Right,
somebody said to me, well, who told you that they wanted to live in a home? And I was like,
whoa,
wow. And I was like, wow. See,
whoa, who said that?
I learned a lot in healthcare in my vast years of healthcare. So it probably was an older gentleman. Um, and I thought about that, and then later on, speaking to my boyfriend, he actually elaborated that thing with the fact that yeah, well, because why not offer the person space? Why not? Why do you want to confine them? Many people don't want to live in a home. There's people that are living in the tents underneath the bridge and and so locations, and
Yeah,
they are absolutely fine. What needs to happen is giving them the the outdoor space.
yeah,
What
that's
about,
freedom.
so going back to what we were saying is the land. Give
Right,
them
exactly.
land. Give us the land. But here's people are not understanding. This is very very wicked. This is very wicked because to have your own land is to have the ultimate freedom. But what would you do with your own land? You would take care of it. You would run it.
Right,
And then
you'll
would
cultivate it.
you would grow, you would populate, you would multiply. So then you would do what now? You would have
Right,
your own society?
right,
It so we need to stop. We this is everybody's not thinking about this whole thing the right way too with this, like, this whole shot. Like things have to come to um ahead, right? And it doesn't have to be,
right,
if there's more of us than them. And do you see what they did to these
exactly.
people in New York? They're gonna tell these people after they stood in the front lines. I don't know, maybe like 40,000 of them. If they don't force a foreign body into their body, then they don't have a job.
Right,
Even though they risk their bodies, the whole
right,
time that this pandemic was going on. So what if all those 40,000 people made the decision right then and there? You know what? I'm not going to work because I'm not going to risk myself.
right,
Y'all don't have a
exactly.
solution yet. So the thing about
You
it
know,
is, why not do it now in every aspect?
that's
Guess
the
what?
thing.
They do it to us.
I feel like the window
Mm-hmm.
closed. Like I said,
No, the windows never close. What it
people are
is
just gonna talk about things and
right.
make these companies richer and keep trending, and you know. But like I said, like at the end of the day, like people of color, like why can't we come together, all of us that pay this rent, and like agree that guys, can we first of all, who are we paying this rent to? Where does this money go to? You know, because people don't ask these questions. You know, and this land as well. Like,
it goes to the owner of the rent goes to the owner of the land.
To like, how did this person come to like getting this land? You know, that's like another big problem we're facing in South Africa. A lot of people are being chased off their lands. I mean, like, because it's private property apparently, but it hasn't been developed yet. You know, it's just private land. But then people like start the little dumping businesses, or you know, just recycling stuff like that. Small little opportunities. You know, in open vast spaces of areas. Like we said, that's how we can build a sense of community. You know, and then there wouldn't have to be a need for people living under bridges. You know.
Yeah, we have to try and buy back our land. But the thing is, it seems like there has to be a collective thought. And I don't understand why so many people can get together, and there's people that has like, when I look on YouTube, I always see a lot of subscribers on celebrity gossip bullshit. I mean, the devil really knew what he was doing when he created entertainment. I mean, you got and they'll even call the YouTubers that talk about the gossip, oh, you guys are bottom feeders. What? Now there's a tier? Oh, okay. So there's a tier to all this wicked shit. And it's just like, there's a collective mind that can make serious things happen, because what happened at that Travis Scott Astro World thing, that was a collective community of people that knew. That was not just Travis. That was not just his team. There were people in the crowd. If you go back and you look at the videos, there was a strategic line of people, right? And it almost resembles a snake. There's a news publication that pointed this out. I actually made a video, and I had it up for a little bit where you could actually see the demons on there, and I took it down because I said I didn't want that shit. I said I didn't want it on my laptop. You know what I'm saying? Because then that's in my because then that's in my home. So yeah, you got to understand that even on here on Clubhouse, if you look, there's a thing called and shout out to Clubhouse for facilitating Prez and I in our podcast today. Thank you very much. And there's a club on here, and it's called the Institute of Travis Scott. That's freaking weird. Okay. After this happened, I immediately went to the Institute of Travis Scott, and I was listening, and everybody sounds like docile, and it's really creepy because they sound like average black people, right? And then there's a guy, and they're talking about like, and that's, not what happened, and every blah blah blah. And then somebody says something, and the guy says, so he addresses a gentleman. He said, oh, so what do you think happened, such and such, whatever the guy's name is. He said, I think it was a goddamn ritual. He said, you don't? It was. He said, you don't? And he said, no, we don't. And so then here's a creepy thing. A few of the participants laughed, and even the host, with laughter in his voice, says, no, we don't. Okay? All right?
What?
Yeah.
But
I wanted to...
humans dates back centuries.
But I wanted to get back to the fact of the matter that, so there's a collective mind that can sit up there and invoke spirits to devour human beings, because there was a motion that they created. And if you even just look, you'll remember, you'll hear people saying that they were rocking. There was a specific rocking. And it starts all when Travis says, come on, he does a countdown, and he says, you know what you came to do? And they do a countdown, and then they do a stomp, and then there's this motion. There's this motion that's all strategic, where there's a certain amount of people throughout the crowd that are doing the motion, so it creates a lock. It creates a lock, and there's a scientist who broke it down. I'm sorry, like some sort of a physicist or whatever, and he broke it down, that how that was done, how that the motion. If you look at the particular, there was a certain amount of. He broke that shit down to numbers, bro, square feet, how big the shit was, and then I'm trying to tell you the vibration, the motion. Exactly. So that if you were to create this type of motion with this amount of people and back and forth, it would create a lock. as if to say, if you were to moving in such a rhythmic, motion with enough
Yeah,
people,
frequency.
you wouldn't even be moving at all. You know what I'm
Whoa.
saying? Like almost running it, like
Yeah.
running still. It even that itself is creepy, right? Right?
It's not even a conspiracy anymore. These are actual facts.
Absolutely in our front of our face. So here's my question: If and now that's real sinister, right? And people can get together and
Right.
they can do that to somebody's mother, somebody's sister, somebody's brother, somebody's child, because that's essentially who we
Right.
are. We are somebody's child. Okay?
Right.
So some people, so all these people can get together and do that. All these people can get together and they can talk about bullshit. But we can't get together and say, fuck this. I'm not going to this job, but guess what I'll do? I'll take care of you this way. You
You
take
know?
care of me this way. We can't figure
Yeah.
out how to get this shit back in our hands.
You know what I'm saying?
No, because we too busy with 30-inch, 55-inch, no tangle fucking hair and nails that make it impossible to clean our own baby's asses. And you know what? They're gonna be, and see, I ain't gonna even go there because that's a small part of the problem. But it always, and people always say, oh, the black woman, black woman, black woman. But because we love so hard, we get judged so
Yeah.
much. And it's like, well, if you take it back to to the times then. Just take it back then when we had, because they done took us the goddamn, if it wasn't for the coup de we wouldn't have had none of the damn land back. Shit, man. They would just, they said, well, goddamn, I'm gonna let this one stay. I like her. You know? And then after a while, the blackness come the fuck back. Like, you know, like, this is a mess. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I get overwhelmed. I ain't no civil rights leader. This is the podcast. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Thank you.
Don't go out of breath now.
I know. I'm taking a break. That's exactly what happened. I ran out of breath.
But I feel like these like private companies have also like made it hard for some of these so-called celebrities. Because I remember Young Jock. You remember Young Jock?
Yeah, I'm the guy with
Everybody
the
knows Young Jock,
yeah
right?
with the bangs and the perm and
Yeah. So Young Jock he's been running like the industry for like a long time. You
for
know,
real.
he's also like good with the podcast. I mean, he's on that what is that Love and Hip Hop? You know,
Yeah, you don't
and
love and
he's
hip
like
hop.
he does his own radio shows and podcasts, etc. But like there was this one time I just caught him. I just happened to catch him go live on IG, and he's not understanding the culture. You know, the whole ups, the whole that's the main thing that's going on these days in the music industry. You know, they talk about the hop, which is basically the opposition or you know the opponents basically. So yeah,
Right.
he was just going on and on about how he's not understanding this and that. But like in my mind, I was like, bro, like you had a chance to like create some type of
Yeah.
change because he was crying about how these private companies own a big part of Atlanta, and if all the rappers could come together, MTI and all these,
Mm-hmm.
all these big names could come together, they could have. Because I mean, that's why they killed Nipsey Hussle. You know, it was all basically
Shout out
profit,
to Nip.
profit. That's because I mean that's how every person of color's brain
Mm-hmm.
thinks. You know, like that's what an investment is to us. You know, a
Right.
home, a stable home. That's the first thing, fundamental thing that you should invest in.
Right.
So Jock is going on and on about the youth is just dysfunctional. All we talk about is murder and people are just angry. But I was like, yeah, the industry made it hard for them too. But like it's too little, too late,
Right.
because that's why Nipsey had like one of the biggest funerals like known, you know, since
Oh,
I don't
really?
know Michael Jackson probably,
Wow.
but it's because of it's because of the impact that he had while he was alive and
Yeah.
just killing him. I even remember like I keep telling people like my little brothers. I remember the like because I was a fan like for a long time now. So
Oh, wow.
the day he got shot, I was like smoking with my brother, and we were like just smoking, and it was like the AMs decided in South Africa. And then I was like, because I smoke and I would multitask sometimes, go on Instagram. My brother hates that. But I run across like T.I. and all these posts saying, yo, hope bounce back, champ. Hope you get better. I'm like, what? Nipsey hustle this, Nipsey hustle that. And then as time goes by, in a few minutes, now it's rest in peace. Nipsey
Bounce
hustle. It's
back,
like,
champ.
whoa.
I said that?
And then you can't believe this shit, so you go on the dude's Instagram page or to try to verify what you're hearing, But
He
this is a
definitely knew what the fuck
world-renowned
happened, yo.
artist, and he's tested the boundaries. So I go on his Instagram, and his followers just keep rising.
Yeah,
Like the numbers
that's
just keep
terrible.
going from like I think he was at like 2 million. I think at the beginning, back then. But
Since he
now, I'm sure
died.
if you had to look now, he's probably hitting like 30 million or like 10 million. I'm
And
not
it's
sure,
like,
but
where's their
it's
money
bad.
going? Where's the money going?
Yeah, exactly. All these YouTube platforms, and you know what I mean. Exactly. You know what I'm saying,
Worth more dead than alive.
dude? And it's really heartbreaking, and that's why,
That's why we should have never participated. And that's why I like when they talk about going the independent route, you have to. Because this is no coincidence. You have got to understand that there's something being signed in that contract that Nigers are not reading.
Right. But I mean, Young Dolph also was taken. He was out here with his paper route entertainment. I mean, paper route. Yeah, paper route entertainment. I think that was the name of the label. But
You can't
and it was
sign.
basically, and they just like me and my brand too. We all running our own stuff these days, and we can't be controlled, owned, and mainly they can't keep us down. And when a black man's down, you know how that goes. So that's how they basically been manipulating and controlling the whole household basically. I mean,
Right.
if the man that earns the salary in the house is not 100%, that means the whole now family is gonna have to suffer the consequences.
Exactly. They knew exactly what to do.
The kids look at you grow up looking at your father like, hey, daddy was like this, my pops was like that. Right. But actually, there's a faith behind that, and growing up, you don't see that. You just grow up with all the resentment towards your father.
Yeah.
Not knowing that he was basically spending the whole day oppressed.
He's the hero. Not knowing that he's the hero.
Yeah.
He's the hero. That's not the black man has the hardest job. That's the last thing. I know when I was younger, at first I thought I wanted to be a boy because boys seemed to be so cool and everything that I know I didn't want to sit around the girls and gossip. And I couldn't play jump rope. And I loved to climb the trees and do the flips off the mattresses and all these races and stuff. And
no boy.
And I have a big nose, so I just wanted to be able to blow my nose on the freaking concrete too. But I couldn't. I didn't do that. I didn't go that far. But you know what I mean. I just wanted to be a boy. And and then that's fun. But to be a man is the hardest. To be a man of color is the hardest. That's God. I mean, I cried when I had my son because I knew. It's like in that moment, it was such a beautiful thing, but I felt so guilty.
Yeah.
I felt like, oh my God, how could I have done this to you? And it really.
A lifetime worth of battles and fighting.
Yes, God. But I truly gave birth to a soldier and a warrior. Shout out to my son in the United States military, just because I love that boy. And my son he had the thought that he wanted to help save people. He known about a lot of he gone to school with a lot of children that had gone through a lot of things. So at first he wanted to be a police officer, a community police officer. He said that he was going to stop all of those crimes that were happening to the children, because of course he went to school and he knew about it. And he said, they would recognize him. But then the Freddie Gray thing happened, and it really, really hurt my son and discouraged him. And I mean, my son was dedicated. Yeah. My son actually went to a program over the summer as a teenager. He got up. Yeah. He actually got up at 5 a.m. as a teenager so that we could drive across town to be here for this police academy, pre thing, Right. Okay, so he was dedicated to the cause. My son really wanted to help. So then when that happened, and then he said, but my son is still a soldier and a fighter. So then he said, okay, he started to do boxing, right? And that just wasn't enough. And then he decided that he didn't want to have to worry about what he would do to support his lifestyle. He's going to join the army. They're going to teach him how to be a soldier. He's also going to make money. And then he's going to join the FBI so that he can still put a stop to what is happening to children. See, now he'll be even on a higher level. I am so proud of him and I love him, but at the same time, it brings me back to that same tearful moment when I had him. Because what I
Right.
also see about the people that do things for the best and the fighters, the
Right.
badass motherfuckers for good, these motherfuckers are hunted. They're hunted.
Right.
They're taken down. But I pray, like I always pray for my son, the Most High will make an exception for my son. As he does in nature, he will make an exception for him.
Yeah, I remember growing up too. I also wanted to be a police officer. I mean, I remember saying that, graduation, when you're done graduating and you got to get up there on stage. This is now kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
If yeah, crash or yeah, when you're like eight, I mean like 6, 7, yeah, when you leave. So I remember I wanted to be a cop too, but then like as you grow up, you start seeing all these things, the way they treat people, like flashbacks on TV, stuff you've seen on TV, and that, like you said, it discourages you.
Yeah.
Because like as a black male, you feel like you're born to protect, whether it's your mother, your
Yeah.
siblings, just it's a sense of you have a sense of community,
It's deeply
and
rooted in you because that's
yeah,
that's that's your
exactly,
history as a black man.
exactly,
You own the earth.
exactly,
You own the earth. You ruled the earth, so you
exactly,
had to protect it.
exactly. Like even the trees, the animals, you like, and it's so weird because I'll even watch like zoo shows like on the television. Like I'm not in love with animals, but I love animals,
Aw.
because like the other people, the white people, because they the ones that open up these zoos and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was
Captivate.
watching this lady. I was watching this lady handle this giraffe like strangely, because
Mm-hmm.
they try to trick it with like the leaves and stuff to get it out of the cage.
Yeah, they like
But
fucking
the
with shit.
giraffe wasn't willing. So I was just like wondering, like, aren't there like animal whisperers, just like the dog whisperers? You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Exactly.
How can this person be working at a zoo and she's like trying to bribe this thing with food? Like
Exactly.
like
Be-
it's like she doesn't even have the knowledge of how to deal with any typical animal.
she's
You know,
she's not
because you
connecting.
have to build a relationship,
Exactly. She's not connecting with the animal
and there's no
spiritually.
relationship.
Exactly.
Exactly. There's
Because
no connection, so it
exactly.
didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to the animal. It doesn't make sense to the person watching. It doesn't even make sense to her. So it's like, people just mess with things they don't know, and
So then
like
it
as a
becomes
black man,
abuse. I just
uh,
wanted to say that then it becomes abuse.
exactly,
What she's doing now is abuse, and all this is being done
exactly,
for entertainment purposes, and that's BS, and that's
exactly.
why the devil done
When someone
so
that has a
good,
passion for it is watching, like, what is going on?
and they're hurt.
Yeah, it's like, why don't I have that job? Like I'm
Exactly.
not even necessarily looking for work, but
Exactly.
it's just in that moment. You know what I'm
It would
saying?
make more sense.
Yeah, because I would actually have a passion for it. Unlike she's just trying to get a check, but
Right.
she's dealing with a living thing, and like
Exactly.
it's like all the amount of bad stuff that they've done in their history has kind of made them insensitive to the most basic,
Well, they always
accommodation.
were. Well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. This is what you have to remember. It is also in their blood and in their the same thing way
Yeah,
that you have an inherent sense of to protect, an inherent sense to
right,
love the animals. I have someone who has an inherent sense to love nature. They have an
right,
inherent sense to fuck with shit, defile, um,
right,
captivate. See, because
right,
going back to a zoo, why do you need a zoo any goddamn way? You wanted to,
right.
you have to see. You can't have everything. If you wanted to build
They
houses,
glamorize things like hunting, and where
exactly.
things like that come with respect for the animal.
But if they
You
never
know,
had respect for a certain type of human being, what would make you think that? See, because so they've already showed you from a long time ago. You understand that? So everything else,
right,
everything was left up to. See, this is why slavery should have really never happened, and no one should have allowed it. No one. I'm talking about the people who even couldn't afford slaves. I would have left the goddamn town. I would not have even worked in a town where they could do some shit like that because that means my children don't have shit coming, and I ain't got shit coming because they still have 2 arms, two
right,
legs, and a head. They're still people. And do they even give a shit about the trauma they
right.
caused? They caused your children when they had children walking down the street. and they had human beings hanging from trees. And what did you motherfuckers do? What did you do? Say, don't look?
You know?
But we're going back to that now by putting out our phones when shit is going down instead of dialing 911.
Thank you.
We're going right back to that.
Getting knee on the throat. Like, that is so crazy. That's going to bring us to our next topic, which was near-death experiences.
Exactly. Right on time, too. Perfect.
Like, yeah, like the George Floyd thing. Like, how can you just watch someone put a knee on someone? You know, like, I remember when I was in matric. Matric is like grade 12. Yeah. Like, your final year of high school. I was with my boys smoking at the park. But now, like, all the weed is done. Now we just, like, having fries, you know? Yeah. Just some fries. This is at the park now. And the police pull up. When the police pull up, they ask to search us. Sure. Now I'm very cocky. So, especially when I don't have product on me, I don't have anything on me, you know? Yeah. So, and my parents, like I said, my parents work for the government. So now, kind of like Project X, you know, movies and stuff. Like when the cops came to visit the kids and they like start talking back to the police. But like I said, I was young now, so I was really naive. I know that like that's just a movie. You know, you don't do that. Right. So these police pull up. They're like, "Yo, weed, y'all smoking weed?" Because I mean, it's a common thing. If you see a group of young kids, especially just males, you're gonna assume there's some type of, you know, animosity or bad stuff going on. You know? Yeah. So these dudes pull up. It's a white cop and it's a black cop. It's Afrikaner and it's a black cop. Cool. They ask, do we have anything? They search us. We don't have anything. So I was like, this is harassment. I end up like trying to speak for my friends. You know? Right. Like, this is actually harassment. What you guys are doing. You know, we don't even have any. You know, because sometimes they even like they would aggressively put like stuff their fingers in your, you know, see, and that's like your private parts, right? And that's, you know, and that's not really cool. I probably felt violated. You know, that's why I felt the need to speak up. Right. So I'm like, my father works for the government, this and this. You guys aren't allowed to do this and this. You know, your jobs. You guys could lose your jobs. Oh my word, that was the worst thing I could have ever said. The Afrikaans guy just grabbed me, choked me, you know, like a chokehold, like when someone's lying down on the ground facing the floor, and he's just choking me, and he's pepper spraying like contact. He's pepper spraying my eyes while he's choking me, and I can't breathe. And now my eyes are also like basically getting messed up, and like I can't breathe through my nose. He's basically just suffocating me, you know, and he's crushing my throat. And all of this is going down. Like, I even forgot what I was talking about or what I was doing. You know, like, the moment just left. All I know is I'm being choked. I'm not resisting arrest because we weren't under arrest in the first place because we didn't have anything, you know? I was just talking back and defending, like, my honor. So this guy's choking me and he's, like, literally killing me. I'm screaming. Like, I've never screamed like that in my life. And the more I scream, the tighter he grips, like a python. So my friends are just watching because they've never seen this in their life. We're all in uniform, and like this guy's just choking me. And the park is full of like people, you know, like innocent bystanders, whatever. But nobody did a thing. Not even my friends. Like the black officer too. He just watched this guy just choking this little innocent, helpless kid. But I was talking so big, so I'm not so innocent, I guess, in their mind, and they're teaching me a lesson, you know. But I'm out there gasping for air, screaming my mama's name, you know, like, because I'm dying now. I thought it's going to stop, but he doesn't stop. So one of my friends, he tried to record this whole thing, you know, which I also ended up not being cool with, because the way he recorded it, you could barely use it for evidence in a court, you understand? Yeah. That's why me and him even like ended up not being friends anymore. Cause first of all, I'm dying and nobody's helping. Yeah, what the fuck? Never mind, like the innocent people in the park, but my friends are just sitting right there. The same people I was trying to defend are just sitting. All of them. We're like five of us. And they just all just sitting there because they also traumatized. I don't blame them because when you look at a cop, he's got a gun, right? You know, so just seeing that thing will traumatize you, especially if you're not used to it. South Africa, we're not really like Americans, you know, like it's not getting a gun hope about things like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gun is very sacred in this country. Like, yeah, we don't practice those same laws like you guys, the Fifth Amendment. So this guy's just choking me, and I start like losing consciousness. So now, like you said, you're gonna tell them your story too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this light just starts appearing, right? And this has never happened to me because now, like, I'm losing consciousness. Now I'm not resisting anymore. I'm just, my body's just lifeless, and I just start seeing this white light, and just like it's okay, like, dude, it's
Yeah.
okay. Why, you know what I mean? Like, damn, if it's gonna go down, it was gonna go down today.
Yes.
And if it's gonna go down, it's gonna go down like this. So I was just like, whatever,
Yes.
just like, okay, just relax, because that's the only thing I could do. The fighting and the resisting was just causing pain, and that's just the only thing that helped me relax was I started thinking about like my mother and like my brother. The first faces I see when I wake up, I was just thinking about how this is gonna affect them, but I just had to think about them to just make myself, like just go in peace, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I was just looking at this bright white light. As soon as I was about to just give up, that's when this guy just let go,
God.
and then
Oh my God.
like at that time he's cuffed me. He's like sitting on top of me. He's choking me. He's cuffed me. He's done all this horrible stuff. And the other guy's intimidating my friends. Like, hey, don't take videos. This is 2012. So this is when these things started. People started recording stuff and stuff. So yeah. So now, as soon as he lets go, I gasp for air and I can breathe. And I think he was scared too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Because of the amount of anger,
Yeah.
the amount of anger that that he got from
Yeah.
this kid that's educated and disrespecting and
That's
has
what happened.
probably has a better opportunity in the future.
I
Like
he
to
felt
become
you.
somebody.
He felt
So
he felt you slipping away.
yeah, and it probably scared him,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and all his anger probably just left out of him, and then I could breathe too. So now this guy now he starts making jokes because now I'm
Oh my
like I said,
God.
that anger left as I felt like I was about to die.
Mhm.
So now he tries to make a joke. I was like, dude, that's the first thing I was like, dude, you almost killed me.
Mm.
So he makes a joke and he's like, nah, if I was actually trying to kill you, you would have like pissed or something. I was like,
Oh
what?
my
He's like, you
God.
would have pissed your pants.
He's done it
So in my
before.
mind, I'm like, so
He's
this is
done
not
it
the
before.
first time
Yes. He's
that
done
you
it.
do this.
No,
Yeah,
he's
in
actually
my
killed
mind, that's what
someone.
I'm thinking. I'm just like,
He's actually killed
yeah,
someone.
basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting all of this as he's like trying to like joke around or whatever, but I can see in his eyes that,
Yes.
like, what? I've never seen such evil,
Yes. Oh my
Because, like I
God.
said, I was trying to be calm now because he almost just killed me, so I'm just trying to be calm now, and I'm like just saying sorry, I'm sorry.
Yes.
And it was just crazy, and I was like, damn. Took me to the police station, cuffed me up, called my parents, said we were smoking weed. I told my parents there was nothing like that. They didn't even catch us with anything, Like, where's the evidence?
Yeah.
This guy almost killed me. Now I got milk in my eyes. My eyes are swollen from that pepper spray because
Yeah.
it was like
Right.
pepper spray me contact,
Right.
like not from a distance. Like he was legit, like like
Right.
deodorant in your face.
Yes.
I was soaking in pepper spray, so I couldn't see like properly, and my eyes were like red for weeks. I even like had to like open a case.
Yeah.
But then my mom's like, you gotta forgive, etc., etc. So I ended up, just dropping the case, and because like, you know, like it's very deep when people's families are
Yeah.
involved
Yeah.
now, because
Yeah.
that's
That's
what
what it
court
is.
is. Court families. That even if he's just a white man that killed some little boy, at the end of the day, he's got his own wife and his own.
Yeah.
I have to think for him, and I'm a kid. I don't even have kids of my own.
Yes.
I have to think that far.
Right.
As like, okay, cool. Let me not take this man's life away as he was about to take mine. Show him some sort of mercy. But like that anger, I carried it all the way till the George Floyd thing happened.
Yeah, because it
Because I
happened
had
to
been
you.
in that exact same situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like when I watch that, every time I watch things like that, it traumatizes me, and it brings back that anger. It's
See,
like another level of anger and hate that I've never had or felt. But
now,
like that guy's face.
now I have a question. Now, here in America, they have some type of money remuneration for that. Like, you sue the person, or you actually, even if so you sue the entity, but even if you don't sue, right? You can go to the government and you say, look, now I have post traumatic stress syndrome, and I need a check. I need a check from somebody, and they will give you a check here in America. So my question is, do they have something like that there? You damn right. Do they have something like that there?
Nah, not here, man. Like here, we still have a lot of this. There was something called apartheid. We still have a lot of that, but people just, like I said, like South Africans, we have a lot of love. Just like we as black people, we have a lot of love to give,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a lot to offer, and we easily forgive.
Mm-hmm.
Up to a point, but like it turns you into, I don't know. I don't know if it works out for the better because you end up like trusting less,
Mm.
and you learn how to move different now. Because
Well,
of that experience, or
absolutely. But what we have to know is
or
that,
whatever. But like you don't expect some type of compensation. Nah, you just it's a life lesson.
right.
That's the only compensation that just living another day, and if just avoiding it in the future.
Well, we learned that. See, the thing about it is, and life is our lives individually are our individual lessons to learn. Pretty much seems like
Right.
a lot of the same information, really, because we've got to realize that the real protection is in the Most High. There's no government that's really
Right.
protecting you. There's nothing, like we just really out here. But you have to understand that you're not, though. See, the people that have the most trouble, I feel like, is they're just going off without knowing their purpose. And even no one's perfect. There's
Right.
times in our lives where I didn't know my purpose, and maybe I still don't know my full purpose. But what I'm so grateful to my mother for is introducing me to the Most High and allowing me to know that this is the person, the one that created you. He loves you. You're here for a
Exactly.
reason. And then
Exactly.
I sent you a link about angels. Shout out to Wendigoon. That's a channel on YouTube. And he did a thing on angels, and I absolutely love it. And it's not his opinion at all. This is actually, you can go to the Bible, and he doesn't, so he goes even off of the description. What I find really strange is that how come people can read the Bible and still don't understand that the Most High looks like a black man? That's so weird, but that's fine. You all are gonna learn.
Identify.
You're gonna learn sooner or later, and it's not gonna be good for some of you. But yeah, and so basically, what I found out collectively with some of what I read in the Bible, and then this whole thing with explaining the angels, and they're gonna be there too, like 7 of them at the end. So all of this really, our souls. This is literally a battle for our souls because there's gonna be a showdown.
Right.
There is gonna be an ultimate showdown.
Right.
And this shit is wild, man. I'm about to learn Taekwondo because I can take those skills. I can take those skills to the spirit realm. Okay, I know that. So I'm just, I don't
Right.
know. I'm excited. I'm excited to be.
You and me, we think alike. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm excited to be on the Most High side. I feel like I'm on the right side.
Life.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on the right side of things, and I want to stay on the right side of things. I'm not gonna sign anything
Right.
unless I read it first. You are not gonna get me that way,
Right.
devil.
Right.
Yeah, I feel great, and I don't feel like
sacrifice nobody.
exactly. I don't feel like the people that worship the devil feel as good as I do. I don't know. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know because it seems like
I mean, like as a Christian, we have more bad days than happy days. You know what I'm saying? But that's what makes the happy days worth it.
absolutely, because every day, see, when you focus on the purpose and why you're here, you just can't get mixed up in all of the fluff because that is the bullshit. That is like the mental turmoil. Like women will. this is really strange. I don't understand what's happening. Why does all this kind of surgery and all this other kind of stuff happen if okay, so some women are trying to be like girls in the strip club, all right, apparently, and they want to bring the fantasy home or something. I don't understand. But then at the same time, right, the really good guys that are really worth having, they absolutely do not want that shit. They absolutely do not wife that shit, and I know that because like I'm not trying to be like, but seriously, I am so far from that type of looking woman, but I've met some really great men. I've met some really great men, and I don't. So I don't get it, and so why then put yourself through all of that? So then they just want the money, they just want the flash. Because I know that I was just sick, and I wouldn't be half a like I wouldn't be this good if it wasn't for like family, bro. Like somebody to love me, bro. Like you cannot pay somebody to come in your house and take care of you because they can slip some shit in your drink. People always like want what you have. Like you have to worry about another person's like mental well being that you're gonna pay to protect you. Like, oh my god, I would rather just fall in love. Like this is crazy. I don't know. And then it can't be yeah. It just always goes back to morals and values with things because I just feel like if the bulk of us can stop focusing on because that's how they got us. That's okay. So then that leads us into the last topic: tricks are for kids and black people. Apparently, yeah. Because okay, so for this one, I was gonna do that movie Level 16, but it's all like the same thing. All right, so that's a movie on Netflix. There's a shit ton of girls in a factory. They can't get out. They were there since they were little. They're being drugged nightly. They're being drugged daily. Which I am like surprised they would live that long because aren't their livers shit by now? You can't like drug a kid. But all right, it's a movie. That's just my nurse talking. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But okay, so they make them go to sleep with this drug. So it's it's such a strong sleeping drug that they're able to take them and do shit to them. They even sell them overnight is what's happening. And what it is it's an innovative plastic surgery factory. So what they're doing is it's a farm. They're breeding girls of all races when they're young up until up until they are 16, and then they are skinning them, and they're using some graphic thing. Yep, some type of new age technology graphic thing to do it. So it's a farm, and they're telling the girls.
Graphic industry is upgraded.
Yep. Okay, excuse me one second. And that's what takes all my energy out. Oh my god. So, and they're telling the girls that they are eventually going to grow up. They're waiting to go to their families. So this is a full brainwashing that starts from very little. They're not allowed to go outside because the air outside is bad, which is weird then. How the family's going to come get you in a spaceship? I don't know. But the girls, this is all they know. So one of the girls is different. I was like, you know what? That would be me. I'm always that. I know that would be me, bro, because I've always asked questions. I'm always that girl. So then she's just like, you know what? Fuck that. She's counting down the days. And then, also, something happened to her. She got disciplined. So when she got disciplined, I think that meant rape. When you get when you have to get disciplined, and then that means you're unclean. So, and that happened to her when she was a very little girl. And there was a Chinese girl who was responsible for that. Not really, but she didn't stand up for it. Type of thing like what you were saying, like kind of being a witness and not speaking up. That's exactly what that Chinese girl did. So she didn't. So
WTAF, right?
Yep. And so years later, level 16. Now they're at level 16. They're big. They meet up again. The Chinese girl is so sad, but she's trying to talk to this girl because she's found something out. Oh, that's what it is. I'm sorry. The Chinese girl stopped taking the motherfucking pill first, and she found something out. And so she's rushing. So when they meet back years later now they're on the same floor, on the same level. She's like, I know you're mad at me, but I gotta tell you something. And now she hasn't talked to this girl in like 10 years, since they were 6 in that facility. And so she's like, please, and so basically, she lets her know, like, she said, you gotta stop taking the pills. Just listen to this. If you don't listen to nothing else, just stop taking the pills. So one night she doesn't take the pills, and then the girl. So after the guards leave, she goes to her, and they're awake, and she was like, you can't wake none of them up. Watch, and then she says, and she's trying to tell her that they gotta get out of there. They're never gonna be free. It's not like that. As soon as she said, and if they come, just act like you sleep. This and this and that. So then a few minutes later, they come. So they actually come because they're about to. So level 16, you're about to go to your family, but actually, that's not what happens. The people come there to go look at your face. That you're brought to an office. The couple or the person that wants your skin, they look at your face. They decide whether or not they want to buy you, and then you go back to bed. Mm-hmm. Then you go back to bed, and then they go ahead and they complete the deal, and then you turn them missing. You're gone, and then the other girls don't see you, and then of course you've gotten a family. You left. Oh my gosh, you graduated. It's awful, right?
Whoa.
So tricks are for kids. So this is exactly what they've done to us. I feel like with the entertainment industry. And just the entertainment industry period, with like TV shows, with like music, everything. Because I mean, even in your home, because like I was a little girl and I always felt like you think like growing up there's gonna be freedom. You're gonna go and you're gonna be free. You're gonna leave. Like you're gonna leave. You're gonna hit level 16. You're gonna leave the organization. You're gonna be gone. You're gonna go. And then it's like no, because when you're an adult, then you're just kind of indoctrinated into the slavery for real. Because then you realize that you've been indoctrinated. You have to work. So by the time when you're all little, that's when you're just kind of forming your so-called dream, right? And that's all going to be. But your dream is only going to be based off of things that you can see for the most part of us, right? Especially if you don't instill principle, morality, and things like that in your children, then you just leave. Yeah. Then you leave for them being entertainment to raise them. And and it's just like the harder they fall now. You understand? So, I mean, this is just awful. So in any event, I'm listening to Immature. I'm listening to Monica. I'm listening to Brandy, and none of the things are real. I'm listening to Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was like my very first one. I love that Gin and Juice. You know, like it starts progressing, right? And so then I'm thinking like, so I'm focused on like love, and I'm in love with love. You know what I mean? And then then that turns into like, oh my gosh, smoking weed and hoes and this and that. Now I know I don't want to be a hoe, but you know what I mean? Smoking weed sounds cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still gonna, then I'm curious about that whole crowd, right? Then I'm gonna go outside, the crowd smoking weed, but hey, they're older, right? Because they gotta be old enough to buy blunts and shit. So that means they're old enough to buy condoms, fuck, screw. Then it's kind of like, well, right. So if you ain't got no money to smoke with us, then you gonna have to have something else, right? All right, cool. So now you're gonna have now I have like money. I ain't no bitch ass Niger. I even tried to sell the shit myself. I like, nah, nigga, just give me a pack. I'll be right back. You know what I mean? And that worked. I mean, I was such a clown with that. I had you knew I had the green because I had I would wear army fatigue, green, tank top, like, you know, because I love like the whole Mary J. Blige thing where she was kind of tomboyish and the whole Aaliyah thing, but they were like sexy. So I had a green, I had the army fatigue bandana, army fatigue tank top, and it was kind of like that spandex type, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I had like, but then I had baggy pants, so you couldn't really see, like, yeah. Oh my gosh, you already know. So I was like the shit. The problem was I was like Smokey, and I just like smoked a lot of my product. So I was like, man, this is not working out. I gotta get a real job. I was like, I gotta get a real job. So then it's like, where are my dreams going, bro? Yeah. So now I'm going from I'm just hanging out. I want to smoke the grass, but I don't want to give my ass. I'm gonna sell it. I can't afford to sell it. Let me get a job though, so I can get money. Now I'm working, and I'm not even hanging out. Like, and then the next thing you know,
welcome to the system.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like, exactly from the very beginning, and this happens in multitudes of ways. Because we have to wrap the show up, but not to mention, I used to play the clarinet. I love playing the clarinet. I would have never smoked weed if I would have not had to stop playing the clarinet. Not gonna blame that my mom who said that she refused to pay for it anymore,
Yeah,
and I was not old enough to get a job then. But I am gonna say that it
that was
damn it,
part of.
man. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I'm done. Go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
man.
I was just saying that was part of it.
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
like what basically broke your passion.
Yes, I thought I was gonna be the
You know,
next
it's
Kenny
like,
G.
yeah, it's like what I was thinking was, what was I thinking? Like, yeah, that's how, like, the system basically tricks you, and then it's like you're a simulation in a
Oh my
PlayStation game.
God!
You know,
Right,
like
right.
you're just one of those characters. There's a movie. It's called Free Guy, with Ryan Reynolds. You know, the guy from Deadpool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the movie's based on basically, you know the game Grand Theft Auto, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, whoa, bro. That's gonna be on next week's show too. Definitely. Definitely.
So yeah, in that movie, Ryan Reynolds is like one of the simulation characters, and Grand Theft Auto, you always pulling up, robbing people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now the only difference is in the while you're in the simulation, if you were just one of the simulation players, you don't have glasses. So the players that like people like you and me that are playing from the outside world are wearing like glasses. So in the movie, Ryan Reynolds calls them the the superhero people, you know, or the cool guys or whatever. But
Right.
now when you wear those glasses, the world is in 3D now. It's no more part of the simulation where you just get robbed and you know what I mean.
Right.
You just give up your money because that's what the actual players are doing to you. You know.
Right. Right.
So Ryan Reynolds decides to rebel against the system. So one of the players he takes the shades, the glasses off of one of the players.
Oh yes.
And when he puts on those shades, he starts to see everything, the bank, retrieve the money, stuff like that. Like if you've ever played the game.
Yeah, I gotta start.
So he starts to get exposed to that. Hmm?
No, go. I want you go ahead. I wanted to tell you that
Sorry, what?
I started watching that before and I didn't finish. Go ahead. I actually did start watching that. That's crazy.
What, that movie?
Yeah, I actually saw the beginning. You're right. I got to the point where he was taking the glasses off, where he caused a glitch in the game, and then he's inside the game, and the gamers are like, there's a glitch in the game somewhere. Because I started to have a I created once I created my theory of it. I didn't watch it anymore, and I got to watch the rest of it. I theorized that it's actually one of the creators. It's actually one of the creators that caused the glitch.
Is that what? Is that what you concluded by not finishing it?
Yeah, by not finishing it. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I think it's one of the creators that put themselves in the game, but under like a different like I don't you know what I mean, like a different avatar or something. But I don't know. I didn't watch
I'm
all of
not
it.
gonna spoil it for you.
All right, cool.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you. You should finish it. You should finish it. It actually turns out to be it's pretty interesting. It's the opposite. But yeah, I think you
Wow.
should finish it. I think you'd enjoy it. But like, yeah,
Okay,
that's
hold
the
on.
tricks for kids. You
Tricks
know?
for kids, and that's the tricks for kids, guys. So
Y'all
was
gotta
that it?
check that out.
Yeah, we're gonna check that out over the course of the week. And we want to thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And check Prez_tattoos out on Instagram. Badass mofo. And Consumer Arena. Bye bye.